Episode 24. The forest trembles, the altar burns. Outside, Mochok's men were completing the last preparations before the ceremony. Everything was in place. All that remained was midnight. But time moved, and with it, Tuak's patience dissolved entirely. We're done. We can't stop Mochok. Instead, we trussed up like animals waiting to die. In the end, all three of us will go the same way as Tua. A worm will tear through our guts from the inside and crawl out while we're still alive. And then Mochok will swallow the worm. In other words, he eats our insides, suffocating. He coughed a sharp, dry laugh, the kind that covers fear rather than releasing it. "Shut up," Bao said. "This is not the time." He turned to Master Luong. "Will old Jung really try to be patient? As long as it is not over, there's still hope. But they've moved us from the wooden house to this place. Even if old Jung wants to save us, finding us is a completely different problem. So much time has passed already. I'm afraid." Master Luong smiled. Young people rarely stay calm enough to notice the small, important things. I think about this a little differently. The fact that old Zhong has not yet appeared may actually be good news. It means he is preparing or planning carefully. I would be far more frightened if he had rushed back the moment we were captured. As for whether he will find us, I am completely certain he will. Tuak shook his head. Kof. What makes you so sure? He's never been here before. He could wander these paths all night. Have you both forgotten what we're wearing? Bao blinked, and then the memory surfaced. He nearly shouted. The mutual generation talisman. How did I forget? He closed his eyes. After a moment, he felt it. Two streams of life alongside his own. Master Luong, Tuak, and in the distance, unmistakably, a third stream moving toward them, old Zheng, before distributing the talismans. Master Luong had explained their secondary use. Should anyone in the group become separated, the talismans would allow each person to sense the other's presence and direction. Their primary purpose was to veil the group from Mochok's detection by harmonizing with the 5 elements encoded in the forest formation, but they also served as guides in the dark. Tuak sat still and reached outward with his senses. Then his voice came slowly. Close, so close. Old Zhang is nearly here. Knock, knock. A wooden stick rapping hard against the cage bars. Buffet's voice split the quiet. Shut your mouths. You've been making noise this whole time, waiting for your friend to come rescue you, are you? Keep talking. He won't make it. We've already sealed off the path where we caught you. Your little friend will walk straight back into the same trap, and he'll be the first to die. And this location is secret, heavily guarded. So sit down, close your eyes, and wait for the end, rats. Master Luong replied pleasantly. Is that so? Living your whole life deep in this forest, you have no idea what real danger looks like. You've never faced death daily, never earned scars from training that nearly killed you, never fought in a war where death came from every direction. You don't know the kind of man who is coming. You should prepare yourself, because he is already close. Buffet hadn't finished sneering at that when the ground shook. When the explosion bunched up through the earth, smoke and dust billowed in all directions. Then, from outside, "Ban! Ban! Ban!" Bao's voice cracked with sudden hope. Gunshots. Is that old Zhen? Bao's expression went blank. He did not understand what was happening, but clearly something had gone violently wrong. Wheen. A second explosion. The wooden fence directly in front of Bafo blew apart. His men were thrown to the ground. The gunfire continued without pause. And through the rolling clouds of smoke and dust, Bafo could see his soldiers rushing into the haze and dropping one after another, bloody and motionless, each man falling the moment he entered the cloud. They died the way moths find a flame. Inside the cage, Bao and Tuak crawled to the bars to watch. Only Master Luong stayed where he was, head bowed, eyes shut. In the end, killing cannot be avoided. I blame only those who chose an evil path, who spent their lives plotting harm to the innocent, who accumulated so much dark karma over so many years. Now the debt falls due. We ourselves can do nothing more. Bafo had gone feral. What remained of his forces screamed and rushed and fell. He shrieked at them. Kill. Kill it. Bump. Bump. Bafo stopped screaming. Something had rolled to rest against his feet. He looked down. He looked again. His face went the color of ash. His eyes blinked rapidly as he forced himself to understand what he was seeing. Marduk's head, resting on the ground, eyes still open. A figure stepped from the smoke, shirtless, skin dark with dried mud from head to foot, only the eyes visible and clean. Cold eyes, flat and sharp as the razors in the dark. Old Zhen. For the first time in his life, Bafo understood what fear was. He, Marduk, Lungta, Lada, all four had followed Mochok since childhood. They had been raised as the guardians of demons, trained as instruments of punishment and terror. They were the butchers, the voices of the gods, the figures that made an entire village tremble. And now one of them was a severed head on the ground with his eyes still open. Bafo's hand moved to his knife. Before he died, he would take someone with him. He turned toward the cage with the blade drawn. Bang! A single shot. A single clean report in the night. Bafo collapsed. Blood spread beneath him in the torchlight. The bullet had entered his skull with exact precision. Bo and Tuak stared. Neither of them could quite believe it. Clack! The cage door opened. Old Zhang said, "I'm here to save you." Everything had changed so swiftly. One moment they were bound and waiting to die. The next, Bafo lay in a growing pool of blood, and Marduk's severed head stared glassily at the torchlight. Old Zen had simply appeared out of the smoke, and the nightmare had ended. Bao's voice trembled. "Old man, slots, that is, how did he?" The question answered itself before it was finished. The knife at Old Zeng's belt was still wet. Tuok studied the clean line of the cut with grim admiration. A wound like that demanded tremendous physical strength, a razor edge, and above all, a cold skill that did not flinch. He remembered what Master Luong had said. "There are still many things you don't know about this man." Old Zheng answered Bao's unspoken question. "I assumed that if I killed the leader, the rest would scatter. I misjudged them. They came anyway, every single one." As he said it, a memory pulled at him. A small cellar, years and years ago, a meeting of the reconnaissance platoon before an assault. Their captain had stood before 9 men and spoken in a low, even voice. The enemy outnumbers us by 10 to 1 and carries superior weapons. Our platoon serves a double role, reconnaissance and direct strike. Whether the main attack succeeds depends entirely on our steps. Fighting an enemy of this scale in close quarters means accepting that people will die, but fighting spirit matters most when the numbers are against you. An army that has lost its general is a snake without a head. Kill their commander, and victory becomes possible. The people in this room are the finest I have. The outcome of this night depends on each of you. Understood. 9 voices in unison before they left the cellar. The captain pulled old Jean aside and looked at him with eyes that had already seen the end of many things. Ah, Jean, show those bastards an ending so terrible that just looking at it makes their hands shake, makes their legs give out, makes them wonder if the saliva in their mouths can still go down their throats. And most important, stay alive. Gunfire, bombs, sirens, screaming from both sides of the line. And then, in the light of the search post, something had been hung beneath the enemy flag, something that changed the color of that flag to red. The North Vietnamese soldiers surged with sudden energy when they saw it. The enemy soldiers froze, because hanging beneath their flag, the symbol of their pride, was the head of their camp commander. 9 men had gone out that night. 3 had come back. Azim had walked through the dark with wounds covering his body, pressing the pain down, completing the mission. It was a costly victory. Bo had been staring at old Jean's hands. Now he noticed what was in them: an M1 Garand rifle, a semi-automatic American-issue weapon supplied to Allied forces during the war, and the M5 bayonet at old Zheng's belt. It matched the type used with the M1 Garand exactly. Bao remembered a defined at Death Beach. Old man, where did he find these things? Now is not the time for questions. We have to move quickly. Follow me. After cutting the ropes from Master Luong, Tuak, and Bao, old Jean led them out of the detention area. Master Luong looked at the bodies without lingering on them, though something weighed in his expression. Old Jean noticed. I'm sorry, I did everything I could. If they don't die, we die. You're a man of mercy, even toward those trying to kill you. That is precisely why I am here. Master Luong said nothing aloud, but in his mind a question formed one would not leave. If they kept killing everyone who attacked them, were they so different from Moshok? What would happen if Mochok turned the villagers against them and old Zheng had to shoot his way through innocent men? Was that what they had come here for? So, what did we come here for? He asked himself quietly, with no one to answer. Tuak interrupted. Wait, where are you taking us? If you want Mochok, we're going the wrong direction. This isn't the path to the wooden house. Old Zheng raised a fist. Stop. Everyone pressed into the bushes and held their breath. A group of armed men passed, led by Lang Ta. The second explosion had sent them to check on the detention area. In their worst nightmares, Lang Ta could not have imagined that both Ma Dok and Ba Fo were gone. The group moved past without stopping. Old Zheng waited until they were gone, then answered Tuak. I don't know exactly where that shaman is hidden, But there's a place I want you to see. Not much time left. Let's move. Tuok, forget the gun. We can destroy Mo Chuk without it. As they walked, Master Luong drew close to old Zheng and kept his voice low. Why did you lie? It's obvious that you still have ammunition. Old Zheng replied just as quietly. If I keep killing people, won't I end up in the same place as Mo Chuk? My work here is done. From now on, it's your turn. Time remaining until midnight, roughly 2 hours. Below in the secret cave, Mo Chuk had already learned of the deaths of Madok and Bafo. To a man like him, other lives were worth nothing. Even the 4 guardians, all of whom had followed him from childhood, were simply pieces on his board. What concerned Mo Chuk now was the threat that Master Luong's group might destroy everything he had spent decades building. He ground his teeth. Damn it, if not for that book, I would have killed all of them on the spot. But then, something in his thinking shifted. He had just understood something new. And the understanding made him angrier than before. The old shaman let out a scream that rattled the cave walls. I will kill you. On the path outside, old Zheng asked Master Luong, was it too great a risk to do what you did? If Mo Chuk had simply ordered them killed the moment they were captured, I would have found nothing but bodies. It was possible, but not immediately. I had things that forced him to keep us alive long enough. Bao looked up. That's why you recounted everything about Dayan village? Master Luong nodded. That's right. But what if he hadn't been the one responsible for Dayan? Wouldn't he have killed us on the spot? Ever since I encountered the Four Waters formation, I had a dark feeling about this shaman. It was confirmed when Tuok's friend Kuong appeared. Before he died, Kuong spoke of the demon soul and the full moon night. Those 2 details pointed back to something very old. Before we ever met the 2 of them, I had Tuok describe Mo Chuk's most recognizable features and those of his 4 guards. Tuok mentioned most clearly that all 4 carried a strange mark on their foreheads. I redrew it and Tuok confirmed it. The mark is the Tibetan character for ancient. My master taught me long ago, anyone bearing that character on their forehead is definitively connected to the ancient way. So even if Mo Chuk had not caused the Dayan massacre personally, the information I gave him would have made him pause. He would still want to know what else I knew. Bao continued. And then you plan to tempt him with that half of the book? Very perceptive. Exactly so. In the world of charms, black magic, and witchcraft, virtually everyone has heard whispers of the Kodok Kithru. It carries terrifying power, evil formations from antiquity, black arts of ancient insect poisons, methods of hiding dragon veins and laying curses. Every great forbidden art is said to be recorded in it. The man who discovered it is said to be my master's own teacher, Liao Ding, a legendary master of the craft. My master, who was Liao Ding's disciple, was himself a genius. So when I named my master, Mo Chuk recognized him instantly. A greedy, opportunistic man who sees a strange book will always want to possess it. A half copy alone is enough to make him more dangerous than ever. It is a trade I grieve. My master's treasure, handed to a demon in exchange for 3 lives. That was the calculation. Suddenly, old Zheng raised his arm. Stop. Ahead of them lay a clearing. Large and small torches burned steadily inside it. A circular trench had been dug in the earth, ringed with upright wooden pillars. In the torchlight, Master Luong could read the Tibetan characters carved into each pillar. At the center of the circle stood a black stone slab with a hollow in its middle, like the mouth of a mortar. Old Zhang said, "When I was making my way to where you were being held, I passed here. No one was guarding it, but it felt wrong. Master Luong, what is this?" Master Luong swallowed. "This is where every person in the village will die tonight. This is the demon's sacrifice altar." Tuwak asked, "What is the demon's sacrifice altar?" "At midnight, Mochak will gather all the villagers here. After the ceremony begins, every soul in this village will die as the villagers of Dai-An did, their deaths forming a bridge of souls for the demon soul to cross into the body, bearing the demon mark. My master studied the ancient way in exhaustive detail afterward. For the demon king to fully manifest, he must enter a suitable vessel. The one who performs the ritual must create a bridge from the souls of the dead to guide the demon soul home. That is why 300 people died in Dai'an village that night." Bao said, "Then we have to warn the villagers. If we tell them what's happening, maybe they'll scatter and run. Mo Chok can't perform the ritual without them." "You're thinking too simply. These people have been living under his heel for decades. They have been broken, reshaped, rebuilt around his authority. I believe there have been those over the years who tried to escape and failed. Their ends were not pleasant." Bao frowned. "Why couldn't they just run?" Tuwak answered, "There's a curse on this village. If a villager leaves the forest, they die. That is why no one dares, and it is probably why, in my case, carrying the poison goo worm inside me, I would have died after leaving the village if Swang's soul had not protected me. Mo Chok must have used some dark technique to bind the villagers and keep them from fleeing. The people of Mist Village are fish on a cutting board. They wait for whatever comes." Bao said softly, "Is there truly no other way?" Master Luong stared at the demon's sacrifice altar for a long moment, then spoke. "There may be a way. I cannot promise it will succeed, but we must try. Everyone, listen carefully. We need to split into 2 groups. Bao and I will return to the wooden house. Old Zen and Tuwak. The 2 of you will remain here, and I will explain what you need to do." Tuwak objected. "No, I want to go back and find Mochuk. I want to kill him myself. Why won't you let me come?" "I understand how much you hate him, but the task I am giving you and Old Zen is more critical than any direct confrontation. The lives of every person in Miss Village depend on what you do here." Tuwak countered. "Then Bao and Old Zhong should stay here. Why does Bao go with you?" He pointed at Bao. Even Old Zhong seemed to think Tuwak had a point. Master Luong looked at Bao gently before he replied, "I would prefer it that way too, but Bao cannot stay here because the body is suited to receive the Demon King. The vessel Mo Chok holds in his cave is Bao's child. Mo Chok himself confirmed it with his own mouth." Silence. It was the cruelty of an arrangement no one had chosen. Bao's child bore the devil's seal. Tuak fell quiet. Bao said nothing. Only Old Sheng could not conceal his shock. "Is that truly certain? Why didn't anyone say this on the road? Master Luong replied. Mo Chok was still hinting when he said it. But by that point, I could be sure. A baby in Mo Chok's hands that he treats with particular care in the middle of preparation for a demonic ritual. What else could that child have except the demon mark? Beyond that, it was not only the die on story on the half copy of the Kodok Kitru that bought our lives. Mo Chok himself recognized the connection between Bao and the child carrying the demon mark. He remembered Swong by name. He said it was thanks to Swong and Bao together that the perfect vessel appeared. Tuok asked, what makes that child so exceptional? It is not merely exceptional. It is rare in the way a medicinal plant that blooms once in 100 years is rare. This land accumulates a particular spiritual energy. Mo Chok did not come here by accident. Something beneficial to the demon soul drew him to this valley. For many years, those who carried the ideology of the ancient way tried every means to bring the demon king into the world, and all of them failed. Mo Chok himself could not succeed in China. He had caused too much destruction, and as long as word of the ancient way surfaced anywhere, the tantric sects and the Taoist masters would hunt him down. Coming to Vietnam opened a door he had not expected. Whatever has accumulated in this land, combined with the pure and fierce love between Bao and Swang, it produced the child that the demon soul had been waiting for across generations. We don't know the full shape of things, but saving the baby requires someone the baby will respond to. That person is Bao. He paused, and then, this is also the last wish of the girl named Swang. At those words, Tuok was quiet for several seconds. He looked at Bao. Go and save the child. If you can, do it in my place. Kill that bastard. Bao nodded. Master Luong drew Old Sheng and Tuok aside and spoke quietly. Whatever was said, when Tuok turned back toward the demon sacrifice altar, he swallowed hard. If things don't go as planned, what should I do? Then we wait to see what Bao and I can manage. If we fail, we all die. Old Xing stored carefully what Master Luong had given him. He said, Teacher and Bao, be careful. When we've finished here, we'll come find you immediately. While Tuok and Bao stood watch, Old Zhang quietly slipped something into Master Luong's bag. Master Luong looked surprised. This, don't worry, I won't use it to kill anyone. As long as everything holds to your calculations, I can save the villagers. Then we'll go back to my house and drink a proper cup of wine together. Master Luong laughed. Ha 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 ha. That's a promise. 2 or 3 of Mo Chok's men came past on patrol, checking the altar area before the ceremony. Old Zhang told Master Luong and Bao, Go now. Take advantage of the chaos and survive. Bao replied, So must you, both of you. Tuok nodded. Carry out that girl's last wish. Save the baby and let Mo Chok know that this land will be the grave of him and his ancient way. Go. Master Luong and Bao slipped into the darkness. Their destination, the wooden house beneath the rocky cliff where Mo Chok had appeared. Tuok was left alone with Old Zin. As the torchlight from several approaching guards grew steadily closer to the altar area, Tuok crouched in the bushes and asked, Will the plan actually work? Old Zhang replied with quiet confidence, It will. But what we need to do right now He pointed toward the 3 guards standing in the altar clearing, talking among themselves, holding their torches. Old Jean smiled softly. Tuok understood. He turned, and old Jean was already gone, swallowed by the dark, moving in silence, before any of the 3 guards realized anything was happening. Pop, puck, pop. One after another, they went down, each with a single strike, each in less time than a breath. Tuok stared. Old Jean reappeared just outside the edge of the clearing and gave 2 quiet signals. Tuok moved to help drag all 3 bodies into the bushes. He pressed 2 fingers under each nose. They're still breathing. Good, Old Zeng said. Tie and gag them all, then take their clothes. Among the 3, one was heavy-set enough for Old Zeng to fit into his uniform. They wrapped cloths over their lower faces for added cover. On the ground lay 3 naked guards, bound and gagged, still unconscious. Tuok asked, "What now?" "We do what we can with the time we have. Infiltrate their ranks and look for an opportunity. Stay close to me and say nothing. That's extremely dangerous. If they realize..." Old Zine smiled. "Risk is how opportunities are found. And consider this. Things are already in chaos. The deaths of the 2 guards have certainly been discovered by now. Mochok's people will be shaken and trying to hold it together. They'll want silence, calm, no panic. But how long can they hold that? Their psychological state is already cracking. Not long until midnight. That's their entire window of focus, which is also our window." Tuok thought through it and asked, "When you killed Madok, did you deliberately cut his head off?" A brief pause. "Yes, intentionally. Even people who are cold and inhumane, when they see a beheaded corpse, it affects them. I wanted them afraid and angry, because frightened, hungry people make bad decisions. A mind in disorder is a vulnerable mind." Tuok said slowly, "Where did you learn all of this?" "From my commander, during the years of fighting. But you always said you only fought briefly and never joined the regular forces." "That's because the unit I joined was a special force. People who act only in shadow. In the dark, even if we die, no one ever knows we existed. We were special forces, specialists in assassination. The bodies of Madok and Bafo lay as they had fallen. Where the prisoners had been, there was nothing." Langtak clenched his fist, face rigid with fury. Beside him, Lada knelt on the ground. He held Madok's head in both hands, staring into those wide open eyes. Lada's lips moved in something like a prayer, a murmured farewell for his brother disciple. He raised his hand and gently closed Madok's eyes. Langta crouched and turned Bafo's body over. Bafo had long since gone cold. 3 of Mochok's 4 guardians had followed him out of Tibet life as children, after years of exile and flight through China. They had come here with their master and never once touched the outside world again. The weapons that had killed Madok and Bafo, the rifle, the grenades, were things Lada and Longta had never seen and could not name. They had no language for gunfire. They only knew that their men had gone in and not come out, and that the wounds left behind had no explanation they could fathom. Lada said, "We underestimated these people. I should have killed them the moment we had the chance. Even in my worst imaginings, I would not have thought Modoc and Bafo could both fall at once. Among the four of us, Modoc could overcome 10 men alone, and now there is nothing of him but a severed head. Longta's mouth had gone dry. Lada's words articulated what Longta had been trying not to feel. That a memory resurfaced from years ago, when Longta was still young. A group of foreigners had been taken captive. They had carried with them a strange weapon, something like a spear, but with a different shape. And when one of them used it, there had been a tremendous explosion. A villager had dropped dead on the spot. The wound had been like the wound on Bafo's body right now. Luong muttered, "Could it be that thing?" "What thing?" "I don't know what to call it, but I remember the master saying at the time that it was called a fear-spitting demon. If those rats had one of those things in their hands, not even 10 demons would survive it. This is bad. We must report to the master immediately. The ceremony is almost upon us, and we cannot allow them to ruin it." Lada said, "As for the deaths of Modoc and Bafo, I think we keep it from the others for now." When I arrived, I had a bad feeling and turned all the slaves away, so no one else saw this. We go to the master directly and plan from there. But on a full moon night, the master rarely leaves the cave. Reaching him has never been easy. He always communicates through thought commands. If something like this happened, wouldn't he already... Longta stopped himself. Why hadn't they received any instructions? Those rats knew that the master's power weakens on a full moon night. That's why they chose tonight, and we still have no orders. What do we do? Master, if you hear me, send us your command. The words had barely left his mind when Mo Chok's voice came, rasping, breathing in short bursts. Lungta, Lada, things are getting out of hand. Those rats are harder to catch than I thought. Modoc, Bafo, I know, but let it go for now. The ancient way is almost complete. You must gather the villagers to the altar, perform the ritual, create the bridge of souls, then open the lid of the jar, release the demon soul, let it return to enter the body of the demon mark. Everything is urgent, cannot wait until midnight. Do it now. Amanaka. Both Langta and Lada dropped to their knees together. Amanaka, Amanaka, Amanaka. The voice faded. The two men looked at each other. Lada said, "What is happening with the master?" He sounded unlike himself. "In all these years, I have never heard him this way," Longta replied. "But his orders are absolute. For people like us, the revival of the ancient way is everything. You heard him clearly. Forget the rats. What matters now is gathering the villagers. Send word, everyone to the altar immediately." The ceremony begins earlier than planned. Below in the cave, Mo Chok had placed Bao's child on top of the blood dragon stone. The baby lay with her eyes closed, hands loosely curled, sleeping as though the world were peaceful. But the black birthmark on her back was growing more defined, a devil's face gradually clarifying itself on her pale skin. A faint, dark smoke drifted from the birthmark and curled around the baby's small body. Mo Chok worked through his final preparations. He had spent so much energy on the shoot. If Master Luong's group had not appeared, he would not have suffered this much. From the moment Master Luong first set foot in the ghost forest, every arrangement Mochok had carefully built began to unravel. On the full moon, his power was already reduced. On top of that, Master Luong had broken formation after formation, somehow breached the barrier around the village, and infiltrated the compound. And Mochuk, a man who had deceived and outmaneuvered others for his entire life, had only recently understood that the junior had tricked him. Half a copy of the Kodok Kithru, and Master Luong had bought 3 lives. Old Jan had shaken the whole village. 2 of his closest followers were dead. He could not afford to wait any longer. He had to act before midnight, because he was afraid. He feared what Master Luong would do next, given even a little more time. Tong, tong, tong. From high on the cave wall, 3 wooden coffins hung in the dark. From beneath them, drops of blood fell slowly into 3 golden bowls below, dripping one by one, filtered through the wood, pooling in the gold. Mochok lowered his face to the bowls and breathed in. Your blood will be the first taste the king savors when he opens his eyes. The taste is wonderful. He. Outside, Mochok's announcement rolled through the village. The shaman's orders. All villagers to the altar immediately to prepare for the god's sacrifice ceremony. Any delay will bring divine punishment. Move. The people of Mist Village had been hearing those orders for decades. They knew what defiance meant. And so, like all the other times, the misty villagers filed out of their houses and made their way toward the altar, toward the ceremony, toward the formation that would consume them without understanding any of it, under their disguises. Old Zen and Tuak heard the announcement as well. Tuak said, "That's wrong. By my estimate, there are still nearly 2 hours until midnight. Why have they gathered everyone early?" Old Shang replied, very quiet, "The death of the 2 guards has panicked Moshok. He's rushing the ceremony forward. We have no time left. The lives of every person in this village rest with you and me." Tuak asked, "Will it work?" Old Shang replied, "It will definitely work. I believe it."